So in this segment, I'm going to give you an overview of the home page of WellTrack software. So when you log in, this is the page you'll see initially. It's broken up into 4 main tiles. So let's just talk through them to begin with. So the first tile you're going to see with is called My Tasks. Now if you want to blow this up a little bit more, there's a little button here that you can click and you can see more of the screen. So essentially My Tasks is your to-do list. So as you're working through your day, you might be setting in tasks in the system to remind yourself to call people, or you're going to have a meeting with somebody, or you have to do some market research, and so on and so forth. So essentially those to-do items will come up on your home page. They'll also be mirrored in the clients file within WellTrack as well. So you'll see them in 2 different places. You can see here My Tasks, which is your list of your tasks, and then also there's Team Tasks. So if you have this turned on and you have the relevant permission, you have the ability to see the tasks of other colleagues within your company. If you want to reduce the size of the screen, just click the button and you'll be back. So the task is very important. It's something that should be looked at every single day. You can see here some of these items are in red, which means they're overdue. If you want to action a task, the best practice is to right click, open the client. This will bring you into the client's file. There's the task, double click on it and either extend the task date onwards or action the task and then close it off. Over on the right hand side here we have My Scan Documents. So again, if we just blow that up a little bit. So if you scan your documents and send them to a folder on your network, this can be set up within WellTrack. So WellTrack can read from the folder that you have designated to retrieve scanned documents. So essentially when you do that, they'll be listed here in order. In a later video in Documents, I'll demonstrate how to actually index the documents from this particular section. Down the bottom left hand corner, assuming you use Microsoft Exchange Server, we can set it up so that the system can retrieve your appointment calendar and display them within WellTrack. So it lists the current week in this particular section. If you right click, you can refresh your calendar or add in a new one. Please note that currently if you want to edit or delete an appointment, you'll have to do so from your Microsoft Exchange Outlook. On the right hand side we have Open Sales Opportunities. This is very important. This is your pipeline. So as you're working through WellTrack and you're adding in clients, you should also be adding in opportunities that you are working with them on. So this is a list of opportunities, a pipeline of business. So you can see here it lists the client's name, the product that you're talking to them about, the amount that you could actually earn, assuming it goes to sale, and the stage that you're at. So again, this is quite important. And the stages can be set to your liking. They're set up as standard in quarterly increments, 25, 50, 75%, but they can be changed. So again, it's a very important section of the system. Again, it's your pipeline and it tells you where you're at and what stage. Note as well there we have a team opportunities. So again, similar to team tasks in the previous section there, we can set this up and you can turn it on so that you can see all of your colleagues' sales opportunities as well. To bring it back, just click here and you're back. So that's the 4 main tiles within the home page. If I bring your attention to the top section here, so this section here is how you search for customers. So you can see here it defaults to last name, but if you click on the drop down, you can search in other ways as well. So if you do add in a surname, click go, it'll bring you up a list of people who have that surname, and if you just double click on the result that you want, it'll bring you directly into the client's file. So this is the main way you can search for customers within the system. However, I'll bring your attention over here to the right to recent. This is a list of recent customers' files you've actually been in, so you've actually looked them up. So it'll list them in alphabetical order. So it lists the last 15 to 20 clients or so. So if you are dealing with a client that you're on a regular basis, instead of looking them up in the find section, if you just click on the recent, you should see them there. If you want to refresh the system, just give it a refresh. Advanced search is quite important. This will basically give you a list of all of your clients that you have in the system. So say once your data feeds are turned on, for example, all your clients will be visible within this section of the system. So essentially lists them in alphabetical order. What you can do here as well is you can click on export to Excel and pull it into a spreadsheet, and then you can mine down on the data and do some research. But if you are wondering if you have a customer in the system, you could go in here and again just scroll down or pull it into the spreadsheet and just do a control and find. If you want to export all of your tasks into a spreadsheet, you can just click it here. And as I mentioned there a moment ago, recent is the list of the last 15 or 20 clients you've been in directly. Over on the left hand side here, you can see we have different options. So home is basically your home page. Text Advisor. So if you click Text Advisor, you can see there's an option up here for new SMS. So if you have this set up in your system, it's the ability to send text messages through WellTrack. So you do have to purchase credit through a third-party provider. But once that is set up for you, you can send text messages from this section. Note that at the home page, you can just send text messages to your colleagues. If you wanted to send a text message to a client, you'd actually have to do so from their client file. If you click on email, again, you'll have other options at the top here. Read emails or pending. Just one thing to note about pending. Pending will list all your draft emails. So in WellTrack, if you're in a client's file and you decide to save an email as a draft, this is basically where you'll pick them up. So email and pending items is where you see draft emails. Read emails. If you wish to do so, you can decide to select, your inbox or your sent box, and click go, and it'll basically list all of your emails from today. Alternatively, you can do a date run search and press go. So essentially the system connects with your server and pulls in your emails if you wish to view them within WellTrack. If you click on the calendar and my appointments, so you can see this is your list of appointments for today. And over on the right hand side here, you've got the weekly view, which is similar to the dashboard on the home page, and also the month view, which gives you a list of all your appointments for the month. If you wish to add in a new appointment here, if you just double click on any of the screens here, the appointment box will open up. And if you wish to add in a new appointment, just add in the subject line, any notes, location, and then the date and the time, and then save. And that will be saved in WellTrack, and it'll also be mirrored back in your Outlook appointment calendar. Note as well here, this is where you can actually see the appointments of your colleagues in your company. So if, for example, you wanted to see the appointments of somebody else, you could scroll down to their name and just click this button here, and the calendar will refresh and it'll pull in any appointments that they have. So it's a good way of checking, maybe you want somebody to come out to you on an appointment, you want to see if they're available, and then you can check their calendar. Also, it gives you the ability to arrange an appointment for somebody else, and they will see that in their own calendar in WellTrack, and they'll also get an email to say an appointment has been set up for them. Over the left hand side we have task templates. So if you wish to do so, you can set up templates in WellTrack. This is set up a task template. So if you set up tasks on a regular basis that are very similar, so like a meeting task, for example, so that you would do that very commonly. So instead of having to type it out every time, if you just come in here and click on new template, you can basically fill it in. So you could fill in, say, meeting template. And again, we do have a separate video on this. And, who it's going to be normally assigned to, what task it is, and so on and so forth. So you can add in watchers, you can add in reminders, and then save it. So this template would then be available when you go to raise a task for a client. So essentially it fills in all the information for you that you would normally pick. LOA Manager, this is basically a list of outstanding documents and letters of authority that you're working on at the moment for all the clients within your system. Reports, if you click on the reports, it'll bring you into the report manager, and this is basically where you can run reports on sales opportunities, on your policies, on client reports, and on compliance, etc. Marketing. Again, if I just click on marketing, you're seeing a couple of options here. So if you want to access your marketing groups, if you just click here and you can select your groups, and there pulls in all the people who are in that particular group. So if you want to delete anybody, just right click and remove, or if you want to search, just type in their name and go, and then you can add them. Communication Center, this is important. So if you're using marketing groups and you want to communicate with them, you can click on marketing groups, And again, in this example, just over 50s, and search, and there they are. And then at this point you can click on email, text if you have it set up, or mail merge if you want to generate letters. So again, we have a separate video on marketing communications. Business contacts. So again, this is basically where you list a list of people who you communicate with regularly in the life companies. So it's kind of like a file of facts of contacts. So if you have somebody new who starts in your company and they're not sure who to be dealing with, they can go into business contacts and actually find out their names and their information here. If you want to add somebody new to the system, just click add new and just fill in this screen and click save changes. Another benefit of having them here is that when you go to send an email, if you want to actually send an email to a contact in the life company, there is an option. So there is a green plus button, and if you click on it, you're able to access all of your contacts from this business contact section. Useful links. This will give you a list of all the life companies and various different websites that you might use on a regular basis. So they're just web links. If you click on them, basically they'll bring you directly into that website or the portal to log in. In the next couple of releases, this will be editable in the background. So in the admin section of WellTrack, you'll be able to edit this particular section. Fact finds. Fact finds will give you a list of fact finds that you're currently working on. You can see that there's 3 different types: completed, in progress, and not started. So not started basically means these are customers who have been added to your system, but you haven't gone near the fact find section at all yet. So the fact find manager section has not been touched. In progress basically means that you have gone into the fact find manager section of these customers, and you have filled in some of the sections, but you haven't yet generated a fact find report. Completed, these are the people who have filled in sections and you have generated a fact find report. Again, if you want to analyze this a bit more, there's an export button. You can put it into a spreadsheet. The last section there is for administration. So this is the backroom section of the system where you can make changes to the tables, you can add in letters and a number of other functions. So again, we do have a separate video on admin. Just in terms of the very top section of the screen here, you can see here new contacts. So if you want to add in a new company or an individual, so company or individual, this is how you do it. Just select it and click this plus button, and that will load the personal details screen, which you can fill in to create the client file. Up the very top here, we just have a couple of duplicates of business contacts. Is again the same business contacts as we had here. And report manager, again, it's the same as the report manager section just here. If you click into the help section, this is where you can see a user guide on how to use the system. And it's also where you'll find our suite of videos in the next couple of releases. So that concludes this segment on the WellTrack homepage.